Virender sir, yesterday you explained about the doctrine of substance over form. Yes. So what is substance and what is form actually? Just we want to know so that if it will throw a proper light on it, so we will be able to understand it in a better way. Please, sir.
Sir, Dr. Baba, as I said, the worldwide what is happening. I think probably I'll just add a little bit before I answer your question here. You see, one has to see that how the law is evolving worldwide, right, and how India is evolving. The question here is, that as India has been, getting from a developing to a developed mode, there have been a lot of complexities in the transactions which India has been entering into in terms of the business organizations, in terms of the cross-border transactions which have been happening. So something, as we develop to a more mature economy, we need to evolve our laws also. So I think GAAR is basically just a reaction to that situation where we are entering into a mode where we find that the existing tools available with the tax authorities probably are not as sufficient as they used to be earlier. So this situation is leading us to this GAAR situation. And the question I think what we are feeling right now, sir, is that what is happening is that because of the complexity, it is very, very difficult to answer your question here. Because of the complexity, it is very, very difficult for us to understand what is the thin line between tax avoidance and tax planning. Right? And this complexity here needs to be clarified. So that's the purpose of the law. The law is trying to, even in the draft guidelines, they come out with a lot of illustrations where they are trying to tell you as to what is the difference between tax planning and tax avoidance. Now, when you go to the OECD definition of tax avoidance, then you see that they're talking about, what is tax avoidance. And when they talk about it, they say that you're trying to say that you're following the law, right? But you are actually not following the law. Right? So that's tax avoidance, where you are projecting publicly that you are following the law, but actually you are disguising your transactions in a way where you are not following it. So this is the problem, and this is where we have to find the substance over the form. So what you are trying to disguise is the form, right? And the substance is something which lies underneath, which is what we have to unravel and find out under the law. So basically what I would say here is that when GAAR is coming into this country, probably the only question which comes to our mind is whether GAAR should come at this stage or it should come at a later stage. But you see, the first question which comes to the mind is, mature economies do have GAAR. When we talk about Australia, we talk about Canada, we have other countries which already have GAAR. So that means these mature economies are already facing this complex situation which exists in those countries. And today, as India moves up the ladder, it will probably need GAAR. So the question that whether GAAR should not be there is going to be almost the next to impossible question. I don't think that GAAR is not going to be there. GAAR has to be there. It has to. Right?